So, welcome back, viewers. This is our episode number Sweet 16. We turned 16 today. Anmol,
Yeah,
what are these influencers? Where did they come from? Why did they come? Are they aliens? Are they aliens?
yeah, some of them are really creepy aliens.
They exist. Why do they exist? I mean, for a guy of my generation who's in his 40s, I just don't get the point. I like the, I'd like to be an influencer, but I just don't get it. Where did they come from? That is why I asked the question: are they aliens? Did they come from outer space? How did
So,
this suddenly burst and happen? Or did this happen suddenly? It was happening in the background. We didn't know about it.
yeah, it was
Uh,
happening from a long time.
I mean, what it is, what like a phenomenon of past 10, 15 years? Not more
10,
than,
15 years, 10 years,
not
last
even
10 years.
10 years, I guess. It's
Yeah,
more, just
not
five,
even 10
six
years.
years.
It basically started out when, our social media platform starting to get popular after 2010 and people start getting access to internet.
Hmm.
So that's where this industry started out, and now it has become very big. And the generation that we are in right now,
Hmm.
they trust more of these influencers. Earlier, at your time when you were at my age, things were very different,
Hmm.
right? You used to tell me that if I like something, so how I got to know about
So, for ignorant people,
yeah,
like me or my generation, who are
right.
influencers?
So for to simplify for you guys, what is an influencer? Influencer is basically a person who has built their following on social media
Hmm.
via their influence from the content they create, and they are specialized to a niche.
Hmm.
So let's take an example for Ankur Warigo. So
Hmm.
Ankur Warigo is specializing in personal development space. He is specializing in finance space. He is specializing in a entrepreneurial space, that what he did with nearby, where he is today. And if I take in, so there are specific influencers for specific things, and these days,
So
so
Ankur
the
Warigo
times
is
are
serious
changing.
one. What about Dhinchak Puja?
No, she's not. I don't consider her.
Some people do. Some people
Yeah,
do. She
some
has an
people do.
audience.
She has an audience. Yeah, basically she has an audience, so she is an influencer. Yeah.
Okay.
She is, and she has influenced a lot of people with her song, "Selfie Maine Le Liya." बहुत famous हुआ. People used to make reels on it. मजाक बहुत बना, but then you need to understand how she became
Cringe.
famous because
The
of that.
cringe. It's
Yeah,
so bad that it's
cringe.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you see today, Ashwin, so how these brands are getting their new products into the market.
Hmm.
So, like these days, we are working on this iconic biking brand.
Mhm.
So you see how they are promoting their new bike into the market.
We don't have to keep it a secret. I mean, let's name it
So
Harley
yeah,
Davidson.
Harley.
We are working
So
with Harley Davidson.
yeah, so how Harley is promoting their X440 right now? It's in pre-production. They are calling these YouTubers like JSR Films and all. They're asking them to do a test ride, do a video on it, post it on YouTube, so that more and more people get aware about it. Because these days, whenever you and I we want something, first of all we go on YouTube and see. And in the earlier times, let's say in 2007, you wanted a mobile phone. You won't go on YouTube and watch some videos. At that point of time, it was not that viable. You will just see an advertisement, then you will go and experience and feel it, and
Hmm.
that's how you make your buying decision. Or maybe it's an ad that
Right.
makes you buy into something. But since the time people are getting more on social media, in 2007 2008, I remember everyone was into newspapers, everyone was into television.
Especially for bike, we used to buy these autocar
Yeah,
magazines, or well, I mean, we had pretty good websites by that time. We used to go for Carvale or
car wale bike wale, yeah.
bike uh, websites, and there were these journalists and viable, authority who used to be present that time, and
Right,
they used to give their reviews. We used to read their reviews, and it was pretty credible. It is still pretty credible,
it is still pretty credible.
but
But the only
I
difference right
you
now
are right. I mean, even I, the other day, you and I, we were discussing about buying a Harley,
is
right?
right.
So, like since that day, I've been watching these videos by different influencers from India and abroad who have been reviewing different Harley
Harley.
bikes, and they're comparing these bikes. So you're right. Yes, they even though I hate to admit it, but they definitely have made an impact on me as well.
Right. Because we as humans, we trust more when we see another human telling us something about it, and when they have a massive following, it
And
impacts
someone
us.
who's like us, right?
And someone who is like us.
Right.
So if I want to buy a book, I will possibly go see what Gary Vaynerchuk says about it. I will possibly go and see what people I personally believe in. So I will go and watch them. I will
Mhm.
talk to. In the earlier days, if you want to start a business, you will go to another businessman in your network and talk. Right
Mhm.
now, it's digital.
Mhm.
So how I started business in pandemic, I read a lot. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I tried to reach out a lot of influencers online. Of course, there are negative impacts of having influencers as well, because some people try to become something what they are not, and it's pretty easy these days. So that is there. But if you are able to get that authentic one, then it has a good impact on you.
Mhm.
They like, from the content that they put in, you get to learn a lot. And as well as their following, they are also a similar type of people, so you can connect with them as well, and it can lead to a lot of it.
Mhm.
So how I met someone in USA. It was through a common connection. So he's working with one of the guys, Patrick but David, in his
Mhm.
company. So he connected with me on the basis of that recently you commented on Patrick but David's post. Even I
Mhm.
am a big follower of him. I work with him, his company. So let's connect, and as on the basis of mutual interest. So these things happen. So of course, in the last 10 years, world has changed so massively, and it's still changing. And right
Mhm.
now, even government is looking it as an opportunity. They are using influencers to promote some product, but also they are putting in policies to control the forgery in it. So
Mhm.
there are a lot of things happening in this industry, and I
I
think
will
this
come to
will.
that. Those the checks and balances that government is putting. We'll come to that later
Yeah,
on.
yeah, we will come to that. We will talk about them in detail for our audience to understand what it takes to become an influencer and to
What
do
it
brand
entails or
promotion.
what it takes to hire an influencer.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, you can't simply go ahead and hire an influencer. Also, that might get you into a soup
yeah,
if it is not done in the right way.
totally.
So, okay, so we have discussed the rise of the influencer. No, now influencer as a brand ambassador. Like how? Let's come to that. Let's begin with from both the perspectives, a brand going for an influencer, but let's talk about an influencer creating a brand for himself. What is this whole story? Like, how does it work?
So earlier, in the earlier times, who were the brand ambassadors that a brand used to choose in the 1990s, in 2000s, in
Hmm.
2000 till 2010 and I will say
Yeah, well,
15.
life was simpler that time. I mean, yes, Akshay Kumar or Salman Khan, who are macho people, used to do advertisement for Thumbs Up, or Red Bull or Mountain Dew. So yeah, or Red Bull used to have these
Hire sports car
sports
to
car
them, yeah.
people or these people who do aerobatics.
Aerotrain, yeah.
They were the brand ambassador,
So
or
in the
Nike
earlier
had
times, it
Michael Jordan.
was
Now,
basically
how does these influencer become the brand ambassador? So I
right.
understand a celebrity has a relevance to a brand.
Exactly,
Now,
exactly. I
yes,
was telling the same. Yeah,
yes. So come to that.
celebrities
Sorry.
and the sports people, and everyone who is in the top of their game, they are considered as credible people. So if I talk about Messi, you know who am I talking about? What
Yes.
kind of people? What kind of people who are following him? So
Hmm.
earlier days, it was of course I agree. It was very very simple till 2010 and 2015. But for new brands, or for the upcoming brands, it was really expensive to hire these people. If
Hmm.
you talk if let's say tomorrow we want to promote Sweet Elite, we won't be
Hmm.
able to directly go to the top notch people. They will charge us a lagana naam. We won't be able to afford them. So who we can afford it?
Right.
Who we can make our brand ambassador? Either it's you and I, we become our brand ambassador, or other
Hmm.
part is we can make multiple brand ambassadors. So
Right.
if you see every brand, they have 4 to 5 different people these days on their payroll, on
Hmm.
their on onboarded with them, who are basically telling the audience about it. Like famous Vimal Pan Masala,
Hmm.
Ajay Devgan, right? Akshay
Zuban.
Kumar. Right. But yeah, they have made an impact. So and especially these guys who consume it, they have made an impact,
Hmm.
right?
Right. Hmm.
So it was simple. But since 2015,
Hmm.
how these influencers have gotten into becoming brand ambassadors is, first of all, they come cheaper than
Hmm.
the Bollywood stars and all the other people.
Hmm.
Second thing is that some of these influencers have massive following. In
Hmm.
some cases it is more than these Bollywood stars and all. Bollywood stars and all of course have made an impact. And you need to understand that how the media channel viewership has changed. Earlier it
Right.
was TV ads are very expensive. Earlier it was billboard, it is expensive. Of course it makes an impact, I am not denying that. Newspaper also makes an impact, but talking about this device, this has
Hmm.
changed everything and anything.
Hmm.
So now if I want to, basically, it's in our habit, we are addicted to this. Whenever we open our mobile phone and a special work mode is not turned on, possibly you will in your head do some work and then go on Instagram and watch 2 to 3 reels, and then you will get back, okay, okay,
Now that you talk of it, it reminds me of something that you and I also discussed at one time. That and I think what you're talking makes a lot of sense now, because if you remember, we were talking about these influencers who have a very niche following, but pretty huge following. For
yes,
example, these Haryanvi singers.
yes,
People outside Haryana might not know him, but within Haryana, they have over 1 million followers. Or
they
if
are doing
there
exactly
might be a local Bhojpuri influencer in Bihar, but he she has a huge following in that local market. So
right.
I think you're right when it's about targeting one. It is about pinpoint targeting. These influencers must be playing a massive role in that,
Massive role, it
which
is
even
playing
Shah
a
Rukh
massive.
Khan might not be able to achieve.
Exactly. If you want to, so let's take an example. I live in Uttarakhand. If you want to target Pahadis, will
Hmm.
Shah Rukh Khan able to do
No.
justice, or someone from Garhwal who is singing a Garhwali song, will
Hmm.
he be able to make more justice to your brand? Now
Hmm.
imagine. So
Hmm.
that's how things have started to change after 2015, and that's why Bollywood is collaborating with these influencers. Even government is doing, because
Hmm.
these people, they have a set target following. So like, let's say I want to talk. I have a financial product and I
Hmm.
want to promote it. First of all, in India, you can't run ads on financial product easily. Okay.
Hmm.
Second thing is that if you want to make an influence on someone, because whenever we talk money, people, they get like this. No, he's going to take my money. I won't be directly talking to him. So
Hmm.
how how IND money, how all of these new brands they become hit.
Hmm.
Influencers. They reached out to influencers.
Yeah,
They reached out to Ankur Wari.
how times have changed. Now the influencers are selling iPhone. Okay.
Right?
And Shah Rukh Khan is selling gutka.
Gutka.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
How the times have changed. Yeah, if you look at it, think about it, it's kind of mind blowing, right?
It's really mind blowing. And plus,
But it is, if you look at it, it is the ideal time. It's the utopia for marketing, right? It is.
right,
I mean, it's become so easy to find your target audience and find the perfect mix and match for it. Lack of what's a brand fit, right?
brand fit.
Yes, for your target audience, it's become so easy. All you have to do is find the right influencer who's influencing a certain niche that you're targeting, and make him say good things about your product, and it'll take off, right?
Of
It'll
course,
at least if not take off, it'll reach the right target audience. You are sure
exactly.
that it'll reach that audience.
And plus, these influencers
Hmm.
right now, as even considering there are different kinds of influencers. So some have millions of following, some has 500K, some has 100K as well. So
Hmm.
you can imagine, you can leverage them on a budget.
Hmm.
With a superstar, you can't. They will say,
No.
"This is my rate." If Virat Kohli, somewhere I heard that Virat Kohli or someone in the market, they charges 3.5 crores per Instagram post.
Yeah, that's a Virat only. Yeah. He's the most
3.5
expensive
crores.
guy.
And I can get a similar influencer in my niche who is specific to my niche. Do
Probably
the
for free.
do the
Probably
promotion.
just for butter. Yeah.
Yeah, barter, or maybe even in less amount. Maybe they will. Okay, let's say they are a million plus. Maybe maximum it can go up to 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs, which is okay. 3.5 crores and
So
one.
if it's a top-notch influencer, like
Right,
someone who's actually has become a face, like those Faizu and all those people,
right.
or lady who does curly tails. She might come very expensive, but still won't be as expensive as Shah Rukh Khan or Virat
Exactly,
Kohli. Right?
exactly,
They'll still be affordable. But even if we want to go below that, there are still options in influencers, right? And they still have a
exactly.
huge following.
Right. There are so many options these days. Like if you want to take off your brand with the right influencer strategy, with the right digital strategy and overall marketing strategy, you can get it in budget.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
And then once you scale up, you can go a bit above, you can get more people, you can go. And most people still do not understand this, having the significance of influencer marketing in their marketing strategy.
hmm.
Either you as a brand owner become your brand ambassador, you start promoting yourself and then people start to know your brand. Either you do that or you get
Ideally,
some
you
bonus.
yourself become the face of your
Yeah,
brand. Yeah, that's true. Like MBA Chaiwala did.
MBA chai wala thing.
What's the other guy Chaiwala? Your friend
Anubhav Dubey, chai
Anubhav.
chai
Anubhav
sutta bar.
Dubey, Chai Sutta Bar guy.
Yeah,
They've all built a very good personal brand, and they have become the face of their own company. Even
exactly.
what's his name? Ritesh Agarwal, right? Oyo.
Ritesh, yeah, Ritesh
Ritesh.
Agarwal.
So even he became a pretty good brand ambassador for Oyo himself. He
Yeah,
didn't need a big face to promote him. He himself did a
exactly.
pretty good job. No, I
And if
mean
you
we
see
can't
these days,
bring
founders are
him in
doing
the
it.
category of an influencer, but still he made sure that he became a brand ambassador of his own company.
Right.
That's why you still don't see Oyo hiring any celebrity to promote their brand.
Yeah, totally, totally. They have done that. And even if you see these days, most of the founders, even on a if I talk the MSME sector, most of the founders in the services or goods sector, which are innovative something, they are doing it on their own.
Hmm.
And talking about big companies, yeah, even in that case also, like you can see the biggest example, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, even even Bharat Pay when Grover
Bharat
was a
Pay.
part of
Yeah,
Bharat
Ashneer Grover, he's
Pay.
like he though he does not promote others products very easily.
But he
Of
does a
course he
pretty
does.
good job for his own business.
Yeah, but he has done a pretty good job for his own business. He does not need anyone else. He has
Yeah,
such massive
he's a
following
man in
online.
himself. Yeah, from developing his own style of being upfront and rude. I mean, people might dislike him for that. I mean, you might hate him, but you cannot ignore him, right?
You
And
cannot
that is
ignore
what
it.
an influencer needs to be. I mean,
Yes,
like Ninjak Pooja, you might hate her, but you cannot ignore her. I mean,
right.
she has created that cringe niche for herself, but and at the same time, Ashneer Grover again. Even though you don't like the style of his talking, but he comes across as that uncle who's rude, but he tells you the right things.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You might hate him when he's talking, but later on you think, okay, yeah, sahi bol raha tha.
Right, exactly.
So
And
that kind of
actually,
stuff.
if you see the concepts of influencer becoming the brand ambassadors, so
Hmm.
earlier, if you wanted to buy something, you
Hmm.
will go and talk to people in your family. They will influence you, so they become the brand ambassadors indirectly if they like something. Now these
Hmm.
influencers are doing the same job because you do not trust a brand, you trust
Hmm.
the people behind it,
Hmm.
right?
No,
How
no, yeah,
we
yeah. Now let's come to this trust and authenticity part of the influencer. Uh, what it takes to build that influencer trust, what is the due diligence a client should follow to first of all put his trust into that influencer, and what kind of analysis that he should do.
So first of all, if you want to hire someone to become a brand ambassador of yours, you need to get to know them first,
Hmm.
rather than getting impatient and blindly going and just reaching out to them and do this.
Hmm.
Instead, you need to know them first.
Hmm.
I always recommend people to know what the other person is exactly doing, because you don't want someone tomorrow to be associated with your brand who is not a trustable person or who is not a good person,
Hmm.
right? If
Yeah,
you if
first of all, you find the right brand product fit.
right
Yes.
brand product.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Second thing is, see if that influencer is in the right niche or not.
Hmm.
These influencers, they play in multiple niches, but you need to see what is the most of the people who are in their target following. So
Hmm.
if I want to promote our brand Sweet Elite, I will go and look for someone who is doing good in restaurants or
Hmm.
hospitality sector.
Hmm.
I won't
Hmm.
go and look for someone who is promoting marketing content.
Hmm.
Rather
Hmm.
than I will go someone who knows that kind of people, because at the end you need to be very very clear what is the goal you are looking with this influencer. So
Hmm.
let's say if I am promoting Sweet Elite, my goal will be to reach more people.
Hmm.
Right now I do not want to generate leads. My target will be to reach more people, so I will look for people who
Hmm.
have good engagement. Following is becoming irrelevant these days, if I tell you, because if someone who has 10,000 followers and
Hmm.
is getting you a good engagement rate, which is more than 10 to 15%, I will rather go with him rather than someone who has 1 lakh of followers and gets you 1% engagement rate. It
Mm-hmm.
does not do justice.
Yeah, because following has become overrated, actually.
Overrated. And plus, since the time these bots have gotten into picture, many people have scammed. If you remember Badsha,
Yeah, fake followers. Yeah.
if you remember Badsha, he got stuck with the song that became really hit within the first 24 hours. But again, when the report came out, it got out as he used bot traffic. He used bots to follow him, and
Mm.
in many people in Bollywood have done that,
Mm.
which uh, which is basically,
Even
you
I
are
think
making the,
Kim Kardashian, everyone accepted that they have fake followers,
yeah,
right? Yes.
right.
Mm.
Which is something you don't of course you and I we believe in, but most people they of course
Yeah, yeah.
still
Let's go to a little bit of detail of how do we find out whether the followers are fake, or I mean, how they do we find out whether they have the real followers or not? Let's put it this way: suppose I come to you, Anmol, hey, my name is you know, Ashwin. I'm a rapper and I have 2 lakh followers. But you've never heard of me. But obviously, you never heard of me because probably I can always say that you don't listen to my music. But I have a niche. Uh, Now, how do you check me up? Obviously, Instagram or YouTube will show huge followings. Like you said, I have bought the followers. I have fake followers. I've bought. It's there. Okay, it's not real. But how does a consumer find out whether the followers are real or not?
okay. So there are three factors, mainly three factors that I will go and personally watch, check out your Instagram. Number one, I will go on your page. I will see if, let's say, you have 2 lakh followers.
Hmm.
I will see what is the amount of people who are liking and commenting on your posts. I will first go and check that, and not in one post, but from the top to the next 100 or 150
And
posts.
comments should be credible comments, right?
And
Not just heart
comments
and
should not
flame.
be like, heart, fire, and all those emojis. It should be relevant, like people saying relevant things about you, or they are liking you, something like that. And then I will go and even for some cases, I will check the person's profile
Hmm.
who have commented on your post.
Hmm.
And if I see that the person who has commented on your post is following 10,000 people,
Hmm.
and only one or two, or more, moreover around 100 and 150 people
Hmm.
is following them back, then I will get to know that this is a bot.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
And I will do the same check in your following
Hmm.
and your followers. I will go and I will see who are the people who are following you. If I see many profiles without pictures, their name are random names, or some with pictures but following again 10,000 people, and
Hmm.
very few people are following them back. So I will consider all of these factors. So number one, you go and check the posts, who people are liking it, what people are commenting, are they people relevant, do you see a red flag?
Hmm.
Then what I will do is I will take your profile handle. There are some online tools. I will search for Instagram engagement rate checker. I will put your profile in those tools and I will see what is the industry standard, what is your current engagement rate on the basis of your following. If
Hmm.
I see that it is less, then again it is a suspect that that you might have bot followers. So
Right.
that's how you get to know. And then I will also try to talk to you and get to know about how you what is your journey, how you do it,
Hmm.
to build more credibility with you
Hmm. Makes
as
sense.
an.
Makes sense. Now let's come to our fourth section of is how the influences are the shifting the consumer behavior and what kind of influence that they're having. Now we have spoken about that. Okay, they have their niche, they have their target audience. Okay, now like if my product is I'm handing over my product to an influencer. How is he going to influence my consumers, and how is he going to he she are going to change their behavior, influence their behavior, if I may put it the right way.
Right.
Mm.
So basically, when you follow influencer, first of all, you follow on the basis of trend,
Mm.
of the trust, that you trust this person.
Mm.
So talking about BB Wines.
Mm.
Okay. So when I was in school, I started watching him, and if he used to say something, I used to believe him. Ki, okay, this guy he has bought it, then it must be something that is really credible,
Mm.
because through his content, that trust is already built. and I've been watching him for 1 year, for 5 months, 6 months, 10 months, 12 months, and I
mm,
know my
mm,
friend also recommended, two, three people in the market recommended. So this is the guy who must be saying something relevant.
mm,
So first of all is that
mm.
it plays a huge role once you build
Again,
trust.
you are looking at him as a person who's like you, and he's not under the those spotlights and
Yeah,
heavy makeup. So he seems real to you.
he
So
seems real, and
yeah,
I connect with him.
yeah, you
With
connect
Shah
with
Rukh
him.
Khan, I cannot connect because he's not accessible. But
Hmm.
these influencers, they are pretty accessible during the initial days. Of course, right now BBK Vines has become a superstar, so he's not
So
accessible.
he
But
has
in the
reached
earlier days, he was.
that celebrity level. But
Yeah.
yes, but these influencers at times, and a good influencer also interacts with his audience, right?
Yes, they interact with the audience because
Right.
their key job is to do that, to
Uh-huh.
do interactions, to tell
So
people
this
why
is
I'm doing
also
this.
that I mean, going back to a previous topic, this is also something that people could check how they are interacting. What is their
Yeah,
interaction with their
what is the
audience?
interaction? How
Mm-hmm.
much they are listening to their audience. So let's say tomorrow I follow someone, I let's say I follow finance with Sharan. So this is a fintech influencer guy. If he tells that you need to look out for this app, it basically helps you with this, and if in the back of my head I already know that I have been following this guy from a long time, he has been putting relevant content which has given value to me, and then he tells me that you need to do this. So in the back of my head I already know that I trust this guy and I need to do this. And even in some cases what happens is, even if I do not need it, I will still go and buy it because I just want to support that person, because it's a human to human connection, you need to understand. So with
वो
Patrick
अपना
Bet
भाई
David,
है, you sort of, yeah, you
अपना
know.
भाई है, Patrick Bet David. So for Patrick Bet David, I have been following him for since 2016.
Hmm.
He used to have around 500K on Valuetainment channel. I used to follow him since then, and today he has more than 4.5 million. And in
Hmm.
the initial days, he used to engage a lot with me. I have engaged with them on Twitter. I have personally chatted with him on LinkedIn. So he has already established his trust with me. So
Or even Gary Vee, what he talks says is that like people like to look into other people's lives.
other people's life.
Yeah,
Very good point.
yeah, so it's just like, aunties, finding out what the other auntie is doing in her home.
Right,
वो क्या cream लगा रही है, and like so just
right, right.
on the lighter note. But yeah, this is what happens. And the most trendy auntie might be hated by the rest of the aunties, but the rest of the aunties try to
We'll follow
co-
him. We'll
follow
follow him.
her as well. Right,
Yeah,
copy her and do what she's doing. If she buys a
totally.
showpiece in a house, other aunties want that showpiece in a house as well.
Right. That
Right,
that is true. That is true. That is what happens. So
right.
if an influencer, so they have already established trust, you already know them very well, and when they come up and say something about a brand, it already influences you, and
Mm-hmm.
the next thing is you want to just go and buy it, or
Mm-hmm.
you get curious about the product, you start getting hits on your website, you start people going and purchasing, and plus right now the ecosystem has become very well, so many influencers come who have millions of following, they say if you visit this website, first 1000 people will get 50% off. So that increases a lot of sales, increases a lot of engagement, and
Mm-hmm.
as well as awareness about the product.
Plus, their feedback is not over the top like Head and Shoulder ad, where
Right,
your hair is reflecting the entire reflect. It becomes a reflector like a mirror. There,
exactly,
it's not make believe. It actually looks real with
it
what they are doing.
actually, yeah, you
Right.
are able to connect with them.
Yeah, so the
So
connection is there. So obviously, their audience, again, like you said, that there is a brethren, there is a fraternity that has formed, or a sorority that has formed over there, and they want to, imbibe what they are doing. And at the
right,
same time, then there is this role model aspect as well, that they want to become like them, and
exactly.
they want to imitate. It's like that local bhaiya whom every kid adores, and they want to imitate and become like him. Right,
Right, right.
the bike he
Totally.
rides. All the kids aspire to have that bike and dress like him. Right? Yeah, great,
Totally.
great. Yeah, makes a
Totally,
lot of
totally. You got it right. You got it 100% right. And
sense.
that is the thing that, people trust influencers, and it changes their behavior because you
Mm-hmm.
want to become like them at the end. So for us, Gary Vaynerchuk, he's successful. We want to become like it. We try to follow what
Yeah,
he does.
yeah.
Patrick David, I try to follow him
Yeah,
because
Gary
the way,
Vaynerchuk was a boy next door, helping his
point
dad
is,
in his
yeah,
business, wine
in
business.
India,
Yeah.
there are
Uh,
so many influencers we follow who are relevant.
right.
But
Even MBA Chaiwala played on that same psychology
Yeah,
uh, of people, that I'm a boy next door and I made it this way. And this is what his franchise was. He was not selling people the cafes or the chai bars. He was selling them his dream that you want to become like me, you buy my franchise. Uh,
right,
that well, that blew up in his face later on, but because at the end of the day, you have to deliver what you promise to.
exactly.
Here,
And
there was one.
that's where the next most important thing comes into the picture is these days there are many fake people out there, and that's why government
Yes,
is imposing a
let's
lot of things.
so let's come to the next segment, and then probably we'll move to in this also we'll talk about these things. So the next segment we should talk I want you to talk about the future of influencer marketing. Where so we have I think it has reached a level, right? It
Yeah,
is plateauing now.
yeah, it
It
is
is
plateau.
peaking now, right? So where to from here? Is it to the moon or is it straight crash? What is
So
the future of influencer marketing?
So what I feel is, of course, there some platforms they are plateauing, like Instagram, it's plateauing.
Hmm.
Threads, it does not have a set algorithm to reach new people right now.
Hmm.
But right now, LinkedIn is very good if you want to become B2B influencer. Even
Hmm.
on Instagram, if you do some sort of paid advertisement and you make the right of type of content, of course, what you have what in 2018 it would have taken you to build your brand won't work right now, and it will take another a lot of effort to do it.
Hmm.
But what I see is that in future influencer marketing will keep on growing because brands are able to establish trust now. Even the legacy brands are able to take ponder on this opportunity and get better results than what has been happening in the past. And
Hmm.
for small brands like us, the best option to go about to building trust with someone is via influencer
So
marketing.
you want me to say influencer marketing is here to stay?
It's
But
here to stay.
earlier, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, like Dhinchak Puja, were becoming influencers. That era will be gone soon, and now
Yeah.
only quality influencers will be the future. Will
Right,
make
right.
it in
Of
the
course,
future.
some people still want to watch
Yeah,
those content,
there's always
but yeah,
yeah.
and even government is helping facilitate it.
Yes,
So
so
right now,
let's come to that. Let's come to
yeah.
that. The rules and regulations that the government is placing. What people should be wary about before they hire an influencer, or even if there is an aspiring influencer, what she should keep away from to get into trouble. From both consumers' perspective, from an influencer's perspective, let's talk about that. Where things can go wrong legally. Obviously,
Right.
now we have spoken about cheats and people who are actually not influencers, but they pose as we have spoken about the posers and the fake people. Now let's talk about who are valid, valid people as influencers, but they might not be following the due diligence set by the government. And people like you and I who have a business and we want to hire an influencer, what we should be looking into these influencers, and or when we hired, what all things that must be taken care of.
So number one, you need to see how the influencers have been promoting other brands in the past.
Hmm.
Why you need to see this? So government has made this mandatory. Whenever an influencer is promoting a product, he needs to mention that this is an ad. It's either a paid collaboration between the other company, they are paying them for this product,
Hmm.
or however it is. They need to be transparent about it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So government, that's
So
why
every influencer post needs to have that ad. This is an ad, or suppose an influencer is doing it for free as a goodwill gesture. What then?
if you are doing it as a goodwill gesture on your own, like let's say we are doing review of iPhone, Apple has not told me that I need to do a review on that. I am
Or for
doing it on my
example, let's talk about the yoga brand that we are promoting right now.
own. Right.
Okay, and we post a lot of ads by their influencer, or repost. They post videos done by their users who are also influencers. So, what are we doing to take care of such things?
So basically, in their case, what happens is, first of all, these influencers are very macro influencers, and it's not an advertisement that they are doing for us.
Hmm.
It's more of community. They are
Hmm.
doing it for their community. It's not an advertisement that I am going to them and they will, charge me for it or something like that.
Hmm.
We are giving them their products, they are liking it, they are using it, then they are sharing their genuine feedback.
It's
In
a,
that
it's
case
a
we did
review.
not, yeah, they're sharing their review that I've used this brand, it feels good to me, and it's about it. But if I would have paid them, then it should come as a paid collaboration on Instagram or any other platform, that this is a paid collaboration between these two brands, and you need to mention that this is an ad. So your caption should start with ad and then the caption of the ad.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this thing government has made mandatory for these influencers, because so what has happened is many influencers have been taking money from a lot of brands and they have been cheating them, and these influencers have been showing off their Gucci, Prada and all of those things, and government has, so recently I was reading a news, government has cracked down on 15 luxury influencers who have been taking a ton of money, paying less taxes and roaming around the country for free.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this has become, so to crack on all of this, and in the future of course this thing will get better with the policies government is bringing in. So right now there is another campaign that the government is doing for in fintech industry. So many so recently many influencers online, they were promoting rummy games, they were promoting mutual fund stocks, some unknown apps, without the knowledge, because the other company, they are heavily funding and they are just paying them without any knowledge of the product. They were paying them, okay, they were
Hmm.
paying heavily. So government has cracked down on all of these things, and now government is making people aware who
Hmm.
you trust. You do your own research before trusting anyone blindly. So you come to me, Anmol, you follow it.
Hmm.
I will trust you blindly and follow it, right? But you need to do your own due diligence now, because the market has become so huge and there are so many people. And so even I will tell you my case study. In 2019, before starting this business in 2018, with my with one of my friends, I was starting this drop shipping store. So we used to get a lot of ads from this influencer. He is a US based influencer, 1 million plus following, showing off his luxury skills, throwing out money like nothing, has a whatnot. He has everything. Okay, what other person needs. So in real life, he didn't have all of those things. It was just that he hired for the ad. He showed it in the ad, influenced us, took money of the people, and never delivered. For us as college kids, we paid him around 250 to $300 to make a Shopify store. We never got that store. We never got our money back. We never received a call back from him. But we trusted him initially. Why? He showed us, he influenced us.
Hmm.
If I can do it, why can't you? Get my secret, $250. Build your Shopify store, $250,
Hmm.
which is so wrong. So many people have been scammed. Right now, also, I won't name that Indian guy, but if
Hmm.
you go and search online in top 10 Indian scammers, Indian influence scammers, you will get his name on the top.
Okay.
I get his ad every day. Whenever I go home, I started. I do my workout and try to watch an educational YouTube video. His ad comes to me first, and he used to tell me, in the past I was this middle class person. Now in the US I am doing this. If I can, why can't you? So
Hmm.
he talks about those things, and people are so. If you need to understand one more thing, Ashwin, who people gets mostly scammed these days into this, young people, because they are struggling, they are
That's
building their lives, and once they see यार इसने इतने
They
कम
want the
पैसे में
easy way
इतना कर
out.
लिया,
Mhm.
तो वो दिमाग में एक चीज हो जाती है, यार इसने कम कर लिया, इसके पास कोई शॉर्टकट होगा, बिकॉज एज ह्यूमंस इट्स अ नेचुरल टेंडेंसी, वी वांट शॉर्टकट, कोई चीज जल्दी हो जाए इट ऑलवेज गुड. तो वी विल गो एंड गेट स्कैम. वो एक
Hmm.
कोर्स भेज देगा, आप वो पढ़ोगे एंड देन नथिंग विल हैपन.
Right.
Most cases this happens online, courses, very few people are actually able to get value out of them.
Hmm. True.
Most people, they just get scammed because वो जो when they show you that, it influences you. Okay, मैं भी एक दिन Lamborghini चलाएगा इस ad को देख के, नहीं होगा ऐसे. It
नहीं
does
होगा.
not happen.
Doesn't
नहीं
happen. It
होगा.
doesn't happen overnight.
It does not happen overnight. But these influencers, they are doing it, and that's why governments are coming into picture. They are so recently in the newspaper as well. Government put out ad, trust only these kind of financial influencers who are certified or something
Hmm.
like that. I don't remember the exact ad, but it was something like that, because government is also now feeling how the Indian Janta, which is 1.4 billion people, are getting scammed because of these financial influencers, and people who do not have money.
Mhm.
Every government wants their country to be good,
Right.
right? And these people, they are just scamming you on YouTube,
Fleecing
Instagram,
them.
and
Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
So that is the thing.
All right. So
Yeah.
pretty heavy talks today, but yes, very interesting as well.
Yeah.
So let's summarize everything from the beginning to the end. Uh, so yeah, so influence. I mean, main takeaway from this is influences are not aliens. They are from this world.
Influencers are not aliens, and
They are roaming amongst us. They might be
yeah.
aliens, but they are amongst us. They might be next door. They could be anywhere. So, but the ones you have to be wary about are the fake ones. Look for the good, bona fide influences. For that, Anmol has given the steps how we can check their credibility. You go check their engagement, you see how they are engaging with their audience, and then only you go for it. Otherwise, obviously, either you lose money or you get into trouble, or worse, at the worst, your product won't take off, and that is the biggest loss that you could face.
Exactly.
And yes, and again, then there are certain due diligence that you have to
You need
follow
to follow them very strictly if
follow
you are getting your
if you don't want
product.
to get into trouble with the government, and
Yeah.
none of us want to do.
Yeah.
And the government is getting smarter day by day with the technology getting better. Government is also adopting all the technology, not just us. Government obviously has more money than anybody in the
Exactly.
country, so they have better technology to find out, and they will find out if there are any lapses, and फिर वही लेने के देने पड़ जाएंगे. So,
इसलिए जागो ग्राहक जागो. अभी
जागो
हटेगा.
ग्राहक जागो. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode number 16. Uh, uh, to the inspiring influences, I hope you had some takeaway from this episode. To the businesses, I hope you understood what kind of influences are good for you. It's not just good and bad influences; it's the right fit also that you should look into. You shouldn't go for an influencer who is good for a teeny bopper crowd, and you give him to sell your business suit line to him. If you have a formal attire clothes line, then you should go to an influencer who is that suave and has that kind of audience. At the same time, if you have a sneaker line, you should go to an influencer who can influence the that kind of crowd, the young and hip crowd from the school and colleges. So please share your feedbacks and
And if
help
you
us
like
get
it,
better. If
yeah,
you like it,
if
I'll
you
let
like
you say
it,
this thing.
subscribe to us and keep watching us now. To for our audience who have watched the episode till the end of it, we are going to be coming up with more of the short clip content so that you can watch the episode in parts. It will make easier for you. In this episode will get live in that way only on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music.
Hmm.
So do stay in touch with us if you feel there is
And
any feedback.
soon, Anmol and I will be coming up with some restaurant reviews and travel videos as well, uh,
Yeah.
where it will be more focused towards the product that we are coming, Sweet Elite, which is focused towards hospitality, tourism, and food and beverage industry. So it is from that perspective how we can find the right market fit for our product. So
Yeah. Looks like fun.
yes,
Yeah.
all
So
right,
thank you so much for watching, and and we will see you soon. Bye.
bye.